Hello, my fellow cooks. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Tower of Knowledge. Episode 5. Building a warm stove in a cold room. There's a lot of wood out here in there. 250. I'm not going to queue up any more cut tree tasks so that our botanists can focus on harvesting and replanting. Because we have a lot of stuff that's ripe. The barley, the flax, it's all ripe. The carrots are flowering. Just to focus on that instead. So now that the food cellar is done, I'm going to have you guys decide on what next room to build. Have you pick. So we could build a kitchen, which would include researching stove and wall pottery shelves. And the advantage of the kitchen is you cook and you butcher faster in a kitchen. So, what to build next in the Tower of Knowledge? Kitchen. Another thing I could do is work on defenses. If you want me to do defenses. We could do workshop. The reason I'm not, strangely enough, going to include library is, for now, the library requires like a lot of stuff, and it's not something that we can like jump to immediately, or like a research room, so I'm going to leave that out for now. I'm also going to leave out separated chambers, so I could do Great Hall. A Great Hall is a place to, like, it's your meeting hall, a place to eat, recreate, etc. I'm not going to bother with infirmary just yet, or prison cells, or training room, or treasury. So, the options are finite, but there they are. All four of them that I think are probably the most next useful. So have you choose between them. And there's only sticks left out here. Because it takes, like, effort to break down an old building, I'm gonna leave it until we have, like, nothing left better to do. Because I really don't need to remove this structure for any kind of reason. Joker, did you just eat the roasted meat? So this roasted meat will rot in a year and 21 days. I think we solved a lot of our food rot problems. Cats really like sleeping in cellars? They do. They apparently like the cold in this game, which is odd. I'll grant you. And it's funny adding another wooden stool, despite the fact that we now have 5 people. So one more is not enough, but whatever. And it looks to me like kitchen seems to be the popular option. Okay. And we're starting to amass more food, as you can see. We're no longer like super insolvent for food-based stuff. We still don't have the smelting furnace up because we don't have the clay at the moment because the clay just went into the bricks. Not a big deal. I'll keep getting a little bit more clay. With Klein, just so that we don't keep lacking that threshold. Alright, so let's make a kitchen. Build a kitchen. So, a kitchen needs a stove. Stove technology's here. 30 bucks. And then it will need pottery walls, which is here. Pottery shelf, which is 20 bucks. So, for us to get that, our researcher needs to continue researching. I think in this case, because we have other constructors, Red Mist is going to be deprioritized for construction and reprioritized for research, because they're by far the best researcher. Although we have a lot of others that potentially can research, that's going to have to wait until we have, like, a proper research library. I had mentioned before, but let's continue excavating the loop here and decide that our kitchen will be sharing a wall with the food pantry. And I'll build a kitchen maybe that big. And then likewise, symmetrically, if we want to ferment, once we unlock fermenting, I'll build a similar one on the other side for beer and vegetable pickling and the like, you know, for the fermentation stuff. And then this will be clay lined and this will be clay lined. Now, before we clay line this, we're going to have to landfill some of the spots because otherwise you end up flooding. So I know that much. Don't worry. I know to keep water out of my cellars. But I'm happy that the food cellar's already done. All right, so Red Mist is continuing research. Good. Hey, Raveno, can you like move the dung out of there at least? Unfortunately, because it's accessible to the pets, they just keep crapping in there. It's a problem. All right, the other thing is, if we want iron ingots, let's do until we have, let's say, 50 or 30. 30 is fine. And for that, we can just grab some of the iron that's here, because this isn't deep in the water. But if we want more iron than that, it's going to be a little bit tricky, where we'll probably have to landfill this area, then dig it down to create some sort of, like, mining shaft. Not something we need to worry about immediately, but eventually when we want to significantly ramp up our industry, metal industry, that's going to be required. Alright, there goes Klein. I'm going to dig out the rest of the hallway later and just focus on getting the kitchen. Oh, interestingly, he can go diagonally this way. So he dug out like a corner of the fermenting room from here, which makes very little sense, but like that's just the way the game works. And likewise, got that corner done, too. Mass hacks. Oh, polecat. Yeah, I don't really want polecats. So, because the animal feed is available to... It's open and not fenced in, we might want to consider creating some sort of, like, pen around here in order to prevent wild animals from getting access to the food. It's going to be increasingly more important as we head into colder seasons. Because the colder the season, the less food is available for wild animals, and the more likely they are to become, to encroach on our food. So, let's see. That door is closed. I think I'm going to do this as cheaply as possible, just to like pen it on to everything else. So I'm going to do a wicker gate here. No, here and here. Because we have, I think we have a lot of sticks. Yeah, we have a decent amount of sticks. And then like a little wicker fence. Hide the rooms. A little wicker fence to, oh god, that's hard to look at. around here to contain them, with like maybe another gate here and there. And then probably keep this closed. Tiny, crummy little pen. But we're not ranchers and no one has animal tending skills, so it's also like tiny by design. Okay. And a little pen marker. I'll put it there. I could incorporate a trough. Maybe I'll incorporate it down below. We'll see. But this should keep the polecats from eating the food that we don't want them to eat. Hopefully. And keep them away from our growing crop, as you just saw that to be a problem. So how's the excavation going? Not at all. Well, Klein's going to be a busy man today. Red Mist has been doing a good job getting that research. So between the two, between the stove and the decorative structures, obviously we're going to go to the stove first. Because the stove is going to be more important than like a shelf of like wall pottery, which is just decoration to help designate the room as a proper room. And I'm just keeping an eye on all the colonists to make sure they're doing stuff that's, like, useful. Research available. Alright, so we're up to 20. We just need 30. We're getting there pretty quick. What is Klein? Oh, he's digging. He must have taken an extended break. I'm gonna put a wooden door there. And it's gonna be very much designed like the other room, because I want a kitchen that's cold so that like the food that's in there, because I might have shelves of higher priority food, which will be the ingredients for the kitchen. So having a colder kitchen is going to be ideal, but we don't necessarily need it to be like maximum cold. Like meta, so to speak, but like cold enough that the food there won't rot. Nice, the pen's almost done. What a crummy little pen. Alright, so now, oh, you almost built the pen marker. Try again. So with this little pen marker, we'll be able to designate the animals in there. So, all animals go in there. And then for jobs, who... I don't want it to decline. Raveno, you, round up all the animals, please. Now, there's some other things that you can do to keep animals safe from predators. The way it works is, when they're around light sources or other colonists, they have like predator protection. So if we put a torch out here, like attached like to the wall here, but like covered from rain or something, we could also protect our animals from predators. I haven't bothered to protect any of our animals from predators until now. Like, they've just been free roaming, and like any wolf or boar or whatever could have killed them. I haven't even been trying to protect them. That's how little it matters, unless like all the wolves and boars around are starting to starve. And yes, the cabbages are available to eat by animals, I know. It was voted on for me to potentially prioritize defense, which would be like protection from that kind of stuff, but we didn't do that, so. Needless to say, the priority is above my head, kind of over there. I work on that, and backseating tags are, the no backseating tags are on for a reason. I'm out of stockpile room. Got it. So stuff like tallow could probably be stored somewhere colder. So that's another thing that we can do in the stock room, is have a floor stock room here for stuff that should be like kept colder. Or a cellar floor. And this will be normal. I think what I'll do is I'll copy and paste, so everything that is on a shelf can be on the floor too. And then raw materials that should be like kept cooler can be in there as well. Like ice blocks, for instance, or tallow. And it will prioritize it so that it frees stuff like ice blocks and tallow up from the main stockpile, which, you know, isn't kept cold on purpose. Hungry foxes just ran into the hungry rats? Yeah, the wolf, this wolf here is just like eating rats for us. Like, all of the rats are dead, just about, of those ferocious wildlife. So I really didn't need to do very much there. Alright, cooking is done. We now have the ability to make a clay stove. And once the room is more excavated, we'll do just that. Alex, thank you for the resub, and you're welcome for the content. My pleasure. Now soon, we will not have to cook on a campfire outside with, like, no speed bonuses or anything. Alright, there goes all the aggressive animals. Yeah, I am not surprised. Why are you not mining overhauling, Klein? So I'm going to try to get the clay walls in and the support beams spanning the room as well. Looking like that. And then once that's built, I'll replace all the other dirt walls with clay walls. Where are you going? Harvesting resources? I mean, your mining is a 2 and your harvest is a 3, but sure. Okay, you seem to not understand what I want done. Oh my god, what is your malfunction, bud? He's just like, nope. My carrots need me. Don't make me lock the door behind you and force you to mine and excavate until we were done. Alright, so now that the supports are in, I'll mine up the rest of the dirt walls to prevent flooding. And replace them all with clay. And I might have to get more clay for it. It wouldn't surprise me if that was the case. Are all the animals where they ought to be now? Yes. I don't see any animals out of place. Cool. Another merchant. This is a... What faction are you from? Heresy of the Rose? Alright. It's a neutral faction. You came in with an entourage. And I don't mind a little trade opportunity. So sure, I'll take it. Because we have iron ingots, and you can see why I got iron first, and clay bricks, we'll be able to make the clay stove once the, like, room is done. There is a merchant tent, or a merchant stall, which, like, allows you to tell them where to go. We'll build that at some point. Day Sleeper is going to be our new trader. He has one lower skill than Red Mist, but he has a passion in it, so he'll level up better. So he's our new barterer. Oh, they're even selling clay bricks. So what do we want to buy off of you? I don't want decorative tile. We're not that wealthy. Flammable oil, not so much. We got flax. We could buy ice blocks to cool down our... But I don't think that's strictly necessary. Because it's not like it's particularly hot down there. I like how they came with a merchant stall, willing to sell. It's like, why would... Why? What? I wouldn't necessarily... So I'm going to sell some of the tainted gear that I have here, instead of, like, breaking it down for its primitive components. That will free up space in our stockroom. I was hoping to maybe buy some decent clothing off of them, but the only clothing they have is, like, also tainted stuff. And they are not interested in buying any of the war materials. There's barely anything I want to trade with them. I'll buy some ice blocks just to show you the difference of temperature in the freezer, I guess. And for those ice blocks, I'll give them something. I don't know. Maple saplings? Oak saplings? Pine saplings? Yeah. Here's some trash. Enjoy my trash. Birch saplings. There we go. So I'm getting rid of tainted clothing and tree saplings for ice and 1 gold. Pretty weird trade, but, you know, whatever. Day Sleeper, would you be so kind as to haul the ice to the stockpile? No, not there. I really don't understand. Okay, let's try this again. Materials. Manufactured. Ice. Goes downstairs. So the way the ice works is it will slowly melt, cooling the surrounding area. So right now it's 36 Fahrenheit in there, and with the ice on the ground, it might cool down. Yeah, it cooled down about 1 degree, and these ice blocks are going to slowly melt to cool down the surrounding area. So now it's down to 34.6, just above freezing. And it didn't take very much. And in the winters, you can actually make ice, which is something that we could consider in 2 seasons from now. Okay, Klein, how are... What, dude? What? You just refuse to dig? Is that it? Every time I look, I like check in with him and he's like, all right, mining is 1, so I'm gonna go farming on 3. You won't outsmart me. Oh, we even have Day Sleeper Digby doing some research, I guess. Now, Chronicles on the floor outside is like a big no-no. So I want to resolve that soon. The other thing I could do is the floor of the kitchen can be just like overflow. So I'm going to call that stockpile overflow because I don't have a stock room yet. Copy the temp stock settings and stick it down there. And that way we have somewhere to like put the books so they won't decay. Radlock, I'm gonna have you go do that. Oh, nope. Stop. Put books away, please. And obviously a stockroom is gonna be something we're gonna need in the near future, because, like, this is a really temporary solution. It's funny all the animals are sleeping at the bottom of the steps. I mean, they're more sheltered. It's like the barn mechanic, so if you have an open barn, animals will seek the barn. So that's them thinking they're in a barn, where it's really just a cave or whatever. Works for me, it's fine. Frickin' the trader's chickens are eating my cabbage. Not my cabbages! Bastard. So tomorrow we should have a lot more of the kitchen built. And maybe what I'll do... No, I'll just wait. I was gonna say maybe I'll build the clay stove now, but there's really no rush. I swear, Klein, you just refuse to dig. Every time I check, you're just not digging. And then I look at you and I catch you not digging, and then you're like, oh wait, no, JK, I'm digging now. So we'll also floor line with clay tiles for insulation. And then I'm also going to introduce or add a light source, because I'm not super concerned about having it be as cold as possible. I don't want them just like in the dark perpetually. We're not like cave trolls. We don't need to be. All right, research. here we go. Decorative structures, done. We'll keep grinding the research because I'm sure I'm going to use it. But now we have everything we need to be able to designate this as a kitchen. Soon. And Heresy the Rose is leaving. Okay, good. Stop eating my cat. Oh, yep. That's one way to leave, I guess. Wouldn't have been my first choice, but sure. Go and swim home. Yeah, he likes to do anything but dig. I know. Every time I look at him, he's like not doing it. I can even like stop him from doing the job. So here we go. Haul is 0. And he's going to go pray. It was like, okay, I can't haul and I can't plant cut. What can I do? How can I piss off the boss? Oh, I can go pray. And then enjoy entertainment. Oh, and I'm hungry now. So I'm gonna go eat. And then I'm gonna go fill my food pouch. And then I'm gonna idle. Wait, what? Oh, wait, your digging is done. Okay, it makes sense in this case. All right, back to harvest and cut plants. And haul. So if you're idle, I bet we could use more clay. In this case, the first time ever, it was my fault. He had finished everything else. So you can see the difference in the temperature just from how, like, having a torch, 34 to 41. Also, I don't know why it says it's... Oh, no, it's inside. Of course, it's not all tiled up yet or walled up yet. But there's a measurable difference between the two. And now that we're in summer, I could probably also stop burning on the brazier. Because the ambient temperature is warm enough that, like, we're not going to freeze. And instead, maybe replace it with, like, a wall torch. Which is lower fuel cost. And doesn't produce as much heat. I've got 139 clay bricks, so I have easily enough bricks to brick up this entire place. So we're just waiting on the rest of the construction down there to be done. So then the other things we're going to want to add to this room is the decorations for the room designation. So that would be the the wall pottery shelves, which I'll put right at the doors. And then we're going to want the clay stove. And then once that wall here is built, I'll put the butchery in there as well. Needless to say, the game doesn't have gases. Cooking underground would, like, you'll die of carbon monoxide poisoning IRL. So, like, the game doesn't care. You probably shouldn't do this in real life. Alright, there's the last clay wall. And you're really going for it. Oh, now that it's clay and not dirt. He likes the sun. clearly. That's what this is. He didn't want to be underground. He wanted to be in the sun. And I was depriving him of his vitamin D. No, don't just put the clay. Build the whole thing. Alright. Haul the dirt away. That's going to make a big difference for ugliness. And then we just need to do some tiles. Keep in mind, of course, moving the butchery table will reset its production bill. And then eventually we're also going to want... So I'm going to shrink this down a little bit, because we're going to want animal corpses to be hauled down here. It'll keep them fresher, and then this is also where we butcher for them. What were we building up top? I don't know. I didn't think I had any... Oh, maybe the... No, we didn't build the torch. That torch? No? I have no idea what we were building up there. Mystery. But here we are. No, it's not a kitchen yet. Yeah. No stove. We're close. We're very close. So there's about an 8-degree difference between these two rooms. And the temperature difference could be determined by the torch in the room, the size of the room. Larger rooms typically stay colder, stuff like that. But it's cold enough that it's not going to, like, quickly spoil anything, and that's the main concern. So I'm going to have a stockpile here for the butchery. If I could... Here we go. And here is going to be... for very high for animal carcasses. Now, when animals die of like natural causes or from other predators or starvation or whatever, they are forbidden by default. So this is only really for the stuff we like actively hunt. Ooh, Day Sleeper has a friend. Is that your first friend? Yep. And this is officially a kitchen. It's a kitchen because it has met all its requirements. It has a butcher table, it has 2 of these pottery shelves, and it has the stove itself. I am not going to change the types of meals I'm making, but I will make more of them. Now that it's going to be convenient to make. So I'll make until we have 20 meals. The other thing I might want to consider is putting shelves down here as a higher priority for like meat and vegetables adjacent, so that we have like ingredients for the meals, and then we can also do the animal feed and do until we have, let's say, 20 of that as well. So yeah, let's put in the cook shelves. So I'll have a shelf here, which is going to be like these shelves, but higher priority, and only for raw food. Salvation. Some said tales of the progeny eating people were poppycock, but they crossed themselves when Elvina appeared. Time escaped as the brutes were sharpening their knives. If cannibals came looking for their lunch, would you keep Elvina off the menu? So, hey, it's an actual animal handler. A savage bear baiter. So you're a master baiter? She can tailor. And she can punch things. Cool. Let's help her. It's obviously going to piss off the enemies, but they only are coming in with 1 archer. Alright. Raffle timer up for Elvina. We do already have a bed, so I don't really need to worry about that. She is arriving with a concussion, which is going to stick around a while. Like a long while, almost a week. So, and she's vulnerable, so she regenerates slower, and she's hot-blooded. She absolutely hates intellectuals, so it's not like she's proper for this this colony, but whatever. And she might be our fisherman because she loves to work with animals. So she's going to become our new animal handler. She's also pretty good at cooking. She's about tied with Radlock, so that works for me. That's nice. And she's our happiest tailor. Or most passionate tailor. Cool. And in 17 hours, a party arrives to try to eat her. So keeping her safe is going to be paramount, I would say. I am going to default keep open this front door. And then, additionally, I don't really have a weapon for her, like a ranged one. And unfortunately, I probably won't be able to research and make a bow in time, but I'll try. That will be the next research I unlock. I'm going to move these shelves, actually. I'm going to relocate them to here, here, so I can put food, like, right at the door. Cheers. I don't know why I keep getting attacked by, or keep getting offers from cannibals. It's a little weird. Cannibal refugees. Ah, what has the world gone to? So she will be resting in bed in a minute. And I'm just trying to max out our food. There she goes. She's chilling. Thank you for tuning in to Going Medieval Tower of Knowledge, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow colonists.